what really grinds my gears?
I hate to be a buzzkill, but I just like to live in a state of no confusion, in a state of clarity. I'm going to talk about Nick Fuentes. He's a guy, very right wing politically, claims he's Christian and whatnot, and that's all good. That's fine. He does this interview with Piers Morgan. I don't like Piers Morgan, but he's good at his job, you know. You don't have to like a guy, you know. I wouldn't ever trust him. You wouldn't trust him to borrow £10, you know. But yeah, he's good at his job, isn't he? He's good at doing the interviews, and he had Nick Fuentes on, which was coming, obviously, because he wants the clicks. Click Fuentes, you know? Not Nick Fuentes, it's Click Fuentes. He gets the views, that's why I'm talking about it. But I genuinely have a unique take on the whole thing. And the thing is, Nick Fuentes is simply he's the new Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate came by for a few years or so, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 years of being very popular, and he had the right wing views, and then he sort of changed into Islam. He decided to back off a bit, and now he's gone into misfits boxing, you know, and pretended like the whole Matrix thing doesn't matter anymore, and he's just a life coach now. That's basically all he is, you know, trying to go back into fighting, and he's fighting a guy, that Chase guy, who's terrible, and it'll be a routine victory for someone with the experience of Andrew Tate. So Nick Fuentes comes around, and he's just here, you know, let's be honest, entertaining the teenagers. He's very entertaining, you know. People they fetishize the anarchy, you know. It's the anarchy that comes, the craziness that comes with someone like Nick Fuentes saying things you're not supposed to say. But would Nick Fuentes ever say the N-word to somebody that wasn't going to like it? You know, it's all Hollywood to me. It's like, yeah, you'll say it to the camera. You'll say it to the 12-year-olds watching at home, the teenagers. But would you say it to, I don't know, let's think of examples. Would you even say it to someone like KSI? KSI can fight a bit. Would you call him the N-word? I don't think you would. Freedom of speech behind the camera, yeah, but it's not freedom of getting punched in the face, you know? You need a gun if you were going to say the N-word to people. And come over to the UK, because you wouldn't be allowed a gun. You wouldn't be allowed a gun here, so if you say that word, you're going to have to learn to, like, fight 10 people. You know, you got to wear a stab-proof vest over here. You start saying that word. It's all just show business to me. It's all just the new form of Hollywood, you know. People aren't watching the movies as much as they used to, because the movies are all high budget. So the Hollywood's moved into politics, you know, and these talk shows. And Nick Fuentes is the new Andrew Tate. He's not some political leader. He's not going to become the president. He's already shot himself with any opportunity of that, because he's an extremist in terms of his words. I don't believe they're his true beliefs. He just knows what to say to rile up the anarchists, the 12-year-olds. It gives them a dopamine kick, you know, this whole, oh yeah, the taboo, you know. The taboo. It's like a drug. He's just pressing that. Taboo, taboo. He'll be gone in a few years. In another couple years, you won't even hear about someone like Nick Fuentes anymore. You won't even hear about him. Another 2, 3. By 2030, he'll be gone because he would have made himself irrelevant. He can't just keep going around using the same shock factor techniques, you know. People like Joe Rogan stick around because they actually stay grounded, you know. Once you've gone extreme like Andrew Tate or Fuentes, eventually you start sounding like a broken record, the same stuff over and over and over again, and then you can tell that it's forced, you know. And that's why Piers Morgan's had a long career, because he just flip-flops around, you know. He doesn't go to the extremes. That's what you got to actually do to survive in this arena, you know. But Fuentes is like a gimmick, you know, unfortunately. It's not like some kids coming through with incredible balls. No, I think he's just got his shtick right now. It's a bit of a grift, you know. It's a bit of a grift. And eventually it'll fizzle out. That's what's going to happen here. So just want to say, don't try and copy him if you wanted a career in politics or something. The shock factor stuff is great. But as he gets older, he's going to age like milk. Imagine him when he's 40 and they start playing this stuff. You know how much he's going to cringe? You know how much he's going to cringe when he's 10 years on? He's going to say, oh yeah. The thing is with Nick Fuentes is he's a far better comedian. He is hilarious, yeah? He's a comedian. He's a performance. He's an entertainer. But he ain't some political threat. He isn't some talk head for politics, if you ask me. There's a lot of comedians that talk about politics. And that's kind of what I see him as. If he goes into comedy, he could have a serious career. I think he should do that, by the way. I think he should lean more towards maybe going to try stand-up. He'd be a brilliant stand-up comedian. He's got the face for it. He's got the attitude for it. If I was him, that's where I'd go. And I'd tell the crowd, you know, that was just a phase, you know, before I found my true meaning, which was stand-up comedy. So that's what Fuentes is. He's the new Andrew Tate. If he keeps just doing the same thing, he's going to fizzle out. We won't ever hear from him again. See, what men need to realise is it's not the same thing. Emotionally opening up to a woman and breaking down emotionally, they're not the same thing. If you break down emotionally in front of your partner, they're going to be very worried about being with you because you're unstable. Opening up emotionally is not the same thing as breaking down emotionally. And I think that people like this post here, the men are getting that confused. Alright, well, the next topic, of course, is Diddy. Pee on people, Diddy. Yeah. I'm not watching that documentary. I'm not watching it because that sort of stuff should not be watched. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want it on my history. I don't want it in my subconscious. We know. I don't even need to know. I just know the guy is not stable. The guy is not well. You know, the guy has loads of money. The guy is corrupt since Tupac. He got killed. He got Tupac killed. That's been known. Tupac was one of the most legendary, genuine talents. Diddy. Biggie Smalls as well. Something to do with Diddy. Very close to Diddy and also died. Diddy had money. Diddy doesn't have empathy. Diddy's a genuine narcissist. He doesn't have empathy. You think he feels bad? No, he just feels his ego collapse. His ego is what's collapsed, you know. But let's talk about 50 Cent. 50 Cent, why is he so angry at Diddy? Well, I don't know the name of the lady. See, I don't don't look up these things before I do the video. I just know that 50 Cent had his second child with a lady. I don't know her name, but she's a very nice looking lady. Attractive. And I just know that she was pictured holding hands with P. Diddy. And P. Diddy was paying that lady, 50 Cent's child and mum, paying her for services sexually. So now 50 Cent's made this documentary. You know, it's the moral of the story, guys, is to avoid having to make the documentary about the predatory guy, don't have children with the wrong woman. Don't have children with a woman just based on some looks, you know. You don't want to end up feeling like a cuck and having to make a documentary about P. Diddy because he had sex with your baby mama. So that's the moral of the story. And then you can watch the documentary and feel even more washed with the filth. But I don't want to watch it. And I've got no interest in it. We know what Diddy's done. We know he's going to get away with it. And what really annoys me is that you think Diddy's the only one. There's loads of these people in Hollywood, like Diddy. Why is he the only one being... He's just the latest. He's just the latest one. There's loads of these people in the swamp, you know? There's loads of them. Where are the others? Where's the exposure of the other guys? We will never see it. Diddy did something wrong. He pissed off the wrong people. He probably betrayed the people that are higher up than him. And now you got 50 Cent making documentaries because he's been cucked. Unfortunately. 50's my favourite rapper. But he makes terrible choices with women. He's great at everything, but he makes terrible decisions on what women to be with, you know? So what can you do? Make documentaries. That'll do it. To be fair, it's... Revenge is a dish best served on Netflix. You know?
It's completely irrelevant to you. The only time that instinctual nurturing comes online is when they have children and they are the mothers to those children. Then they become a secondary aspect of themselves when they become the mother. But until then, they are women. Your mother is over here, and then there's all women. And all women manipulate to get their way. What she tells you is not true. It may be somewhat true, but you will never, ever get the full truth from a woman in the
Is anybody going to tell him
of relations between
you know why he can't get women? So our final video is about a guy in India who sued Amazon for delivering the t-shirts to him instead of a projector that he ordered. And I thought this news story was a touching one because I don't like Amazon. I think Amazon are a monopoly. I think that I don't understand how in this world it's remotely fair that Amazon can just dominate the market like they do. It's convenient for us when we want something, but it's not convenient for everybody who just wants to be entrepreneurial and things like that. This is how you end up with, you know, people going into their life of crime because you can't start your own business. It's very difficult. It's too difficult. There's too many monopolies. And then you can't work for Amazon. If you ever work for Amazon, it's like working in a containment center, you know? It's like Big Brother in there. I've done it. It's like work you like a mule, pay you in peanuts, you know? And This guy got like £300 compensation and a refund from Amazon. And I think that's brilliant. I think more people should sue companies, even if it doesn't make sense. If you've got the time, sue them, because how they get away with a lot of things, you know, a lot of crap that they sell. You buy it, it breaks. Everything you buy nowadays just breaks. And people just take it, you know, and just buy another one. Or just forget about it. This guy was like, nah, I'm taking him to court. And he did. And he won. I think that's excellent. And I don't like these companies like Amazon. They make everything cheap. They make everything lower quality. They destroy the high street. You know, the high street is where people used to go, not just to do all their shopping. No, but to also socialise, and you'd meet people and have human interaction. It's better for society. Because of Amazon and these online stores that are just monopolising. People don't go out anymore. They just sit in like hermits, you know. I just find myself going to the gym all the time. Because you can get out the house and see people. The gyms are busier than the high streets. The gyms are much busier. The high streets are dead and full of homeless people. And drunk people. That's the only thing high streets are good for now, if you want to go get drunk. And, yeah, this is where we're at. So, that's a positive news story. And that's the end of the show.